Today's episode is brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source of medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services online. You'll find popular peptides like semaglutide and tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. Now, here's your hosts.
I want to start with a sentence I've heard in some form from almost every woman I know in her mid-40s. I am doing everything the same as I always have, and suddenly the weight is landing right here around my middle, and it will not budge.
Yes, and usually said with this tone of, what is wrong with me? Like it's a personal failure, like they lost their willpower somewhere between 42 and 45.
And that's exactly the myth we want to dismantle today. Because here's the truth. If you're in perimenopause and your body composition is changing even though your habits haven't, it is not a willpower problem. It's a biology problem. Something real and measurable is happening under the hood.
So let's open the hood. What is actually going on?
The star of the story is estrogen. And most people think of estrogen as purely a reproductive hormone. It is so much more than that. Estrogen is a powerful metabolic regulator. It helps keep your cells sensitive to insulin, and it helps decide where your body stores fat.
And in your younger years, estrogen tends to park fat on the hips and thighs, the classic pear shape.
Right. But as estrogen fluctuates and declines through perimenopause, that storage pattern shifts. Fat migrates from the hips and thighs to the abdomen. And not just any fat, deep fat called visceral fat that wraps around your internal organs.
And here's the part that really surprised me when I read the research. This shift can happen even in women who aren't gaining much weight at all. The scale barely moves, but the fat is quietly relocating from the surface to deep inside the belly.
Which is why this matters way beyond how your genes fit. Visceral fat isn't just sitting there, it's metabolically active tissue. It pumps out inflammatory signals, it worsens insulin resistance, and it's strongly linked to higher risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease.
So this is really a heart and metabolic health conversation wearing a belly fat costume.
That's a great way to put it. And there's more. As estrogen drops, your cells become a bit more resistant to insulin, which means the exact same bowl of pasta you've eaten for 20 years now spikes your blood sugar higher and gets stored more readily as fat.
And that shows up as symptoms people don't connect to hormones. Intense sugar cravings, that heavy, foggy, need-a-nap feeling 2 or 3 hours after lunch. It all traces back to this insulin shift.
And here's a sneaky detail. This can be happening while your standard blood work still looks fine. Fasting insulin can creep up years before your blood sugar looks abnormal on a basic panel, so a lot of women are told your labs are normal when the early changes are already underway.
And remember our sleep episode. This all connects. Poor sleep, which is rampant in perimenopause, makes insulin resistance worse. So the night sweats keeping you up are also nudging your metabolism in the wrong direction. It's all one system.
Now, before the guys tune out, a quick note. Men aren't immune. Testosterone declines with age, and men also tend to accumulate visceral belly fat over time, so the insulin and visceral fat principles apply broadly. But perimenopause makes this shift especially sharp and sudden for women, which is why we're centering them today.
All right, let's bust the myths head on, because they cause real harm.
Myth number 1. You've just gotten lazy or lost your discipline.
Flatly false. Your discipline didn't change. Your hormones and your metabolism did. One long-running study that tracked women across the menopause transition found measurable drops in daily energy expenditure and in...
Quick reminder that today's episode is brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source of medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services online. You'll find popular peptides like semaglutide and tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. Now, back to the show.
How much fat the body burns. That's not in your head, that's physiology.
Myth number 2. The scale and BMI tell the whole story.
They really don't. A woman can be at a totally normal weight and still have rising visceral fat and rising metabolic risk. Where the fat sits matters as much as how much there is. A normal number on the scale does not automatically mean a normal risk profile in midlife.
Myth number 3, and this one's important because it's the trap people fall into. The fix is more cardio and eating way less.
This is the crash diet reflex, and it backfires. Slashing your food and doing endless cardio can burn off muscle, and muscle is the very tissue that keeps your metabolism up and your insulin working well. You can actually make the problem worse.
So what does help? Let's get practical because there's a lot you can do.
Number 1, and it's the big one, Protect and build muscle. Muscle is the largest site where your body handles blood sugar. More muscle means better insulin sensitivity and a higher resting metabolism. Resistance training 2 or 3 times a week is the single highest leverage move here.
Number 2, eat in a way that steadies your blood sugar. And this is not about restriction or cutting carbs to zero. Major medical groups suggest pairing your carbohydrates with protein, fiber, or healthy fat to blunt the blood sugar spike. So the apple with some nuts instead of the apple alone. Real food, mostly, with the refined stuff dialed back.
Number 3, prioritize protein and prioritize sleep. Protein helps you hold on to muscle and keeps you full, and better sleep directly improves your insulin handling. These aren't separate projects, they reinforce each other.
And number 4, know that there are medical options worth an informed conversation with your doctor. For some women, hormone therapy helps. Medically guided weight loss, including the newer GLP-1 medications, can be appropriate for others and can meaningfully reduce cardiovascular risk. These aren't right for everyone, so it's a personalized, professional decision.
Which is exactly where our sponsor fits. If stubborn midlife weight and metabolic risk are on your mind, Get Skinny Online is a telehealth provider offering medically guided weight loss. You get professionals looking at your whole picture, not a one-size-fits-all plan. You can learn more at getskinnyonline.com.
And the usual crucial reminder, this is educational, not medical advice. We can't diagnose anyone. If this resonates, a great step is talking to your doctor and asking whether a fuller metabolic check makes sense for you, especially before any big change to diet, exercise, or medication.
Let's land it. 3 key takeaways.
1. Midlife belly fat is driven by biology, not a lack of willpower. Falling estrogen shifts fat to your belly and makes your cells more insulin resistant.
2. It's about health, not looks. Visceral fat is metabolically active and tied to heart and diabetes risk, and it can rise even when the scale barely moves.
3. The fix is muscle, blood sugar steady eating, protein and sleep, not crash diets and endless cardio, which can cost you the muscle you need.
And your one action step this week, stop eating what I call naked carbs. Every time you have a carbohydrate, the bread, the fruit, the crackers, pair it with some protein, fiber, or fat. That one habit blunts the blood sugar spikes that drive this whole cycle.
If you know a woman who's been beating herself up over midlife weight, share this with her. She may need to hear that it's her biology talking, not her character.
And tell us in the comments, did anyone ever explain the estrogen and insulin connection to you before? We're guessing for a lot of you the answer is no. If this show helps you, subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
Be kind to yourself, work with your biology instead of against it, and we'll see you next episode.
Thanks for listening. Today's episode was brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source for medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services. They have popular peptides like semaglutide and tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. See you next time.